Okay, so in today's video, we are going to go over why your agency fails harder at 100k per month than 50k. And let me guess, you have a 10-person team that costs you 30k per month, and you are still putting in more than 70 hours approving everything they do. You've hired talented people, but then you are still doing the real work. You keep asking yourself why does running a larger business often feel harder than running a smaller one? And the honest truth is that most agencies accidentally make their operations more complex as they grow instead of more streamlined. And this hurts them in the long term. There are four stages of business and agency evolution, and in this video, we go over all of them. Now, the first one is stage one, freelancer. This is when you execute everything. Now, this stage is pretty simple, but then it's completely founder dependent. Once the founder takes a break, the business stagnates, and it's very, very simple, but then it's fully dependent on you, which means you have to be working 24/7. Then we have stage two, which is the advanced freelancer or the sophisticated freelancer. And this is when you have your first few employees, the team helps, with executing work, but then you have to approve everything important. Every email, every ad, every creative has to go through you, which means that coordination overhead explodes. Normally, in this stage, there are no systems, operations, and this is where most agencies get stuck forever. Now you have stage three, which is basically an agency with frameworks. This is when your team is able to make calculated decisions using documented frameworks, procedures, and SOPs. This is when quality control happens through systematic processes and not founder review. So if someone wants to post an email, they basically have a systematic process on how they can rate that email instead of going to the founder. Now, within this stage, the founder mostly focuses on strategy, products, and not daily operations. And to reach this stage, you have to sacrifice a lot of your time because you have to basically build out a lot of frameworks, processes, systems, and everything from zero. Then we have stage four, which is basically the operationalized business. And this is when your business improves itself through data driven optimization and decisions. This is when there's continuous improvement and competitive advantage development. So not only are you good at what you do, but then you are pushing the limit forward of what can be done. Now the founder becomes completely detached from the daily operations, marketing strategy, and sometimes the overall well-being of the business. But the thing is, a few agencies or businesses actually want or need this. Now, there's a reason why I call stage two, the operational hell, especially when scaling. And that is because stage two can be perfectly good if that is what you want. If you want to work more than 70 hours per week, be my guest. But then most founders accidentally end up in stage two when they're trying to go to stage three. Now, here's a discrepancy. You've hired people hoping for business independence, so basically stage three. But then you have stage two operations, which is basically, everything being dependent on the founder, coordinating with the team members. Now, we can basically say that you have stage three expenses, which stage one, founder involvement. Because not only do you have to make every single decision, you also have to put in a lot of hours. Now, the problems here are very clear. More coordination overhead than working alone, team dependency, paying for help but then doing most of the thinking, and then responsible for results even though you're not in direct control. Now, the reality of getting to stage three requires 6 to 12 months of working harder than you've ever had. You have to build systems, operations, infra, frameworks for everything, and basically train people to use them and then trust them, that they'll work with the systems without you checking. Now, most people or most founders can't handle this because, you rather like to stay involved and stressed than risk letting go and, having quality job. But I think this quality will drop nevertheless. Additionally, the progress in these months or years to come in terms of revenue is mostly lower than what you can achieve because you'll be building frameworks and that is not good. Like you'll be in operations instead of marketing and sales. Now, here's where you have to consciously choose which stage you want to be in. Successful agencies and businesses basically choose their stage deliberately based on founder psychology, philosophy, and life goals, and they go from there. Now, I would say if you are building these stuff, one thing that is good to have is basically a second brain. So for me, I have like a second brain, which I have all the lessons, all the podcast lessons, all the courses that I've taken. I think up to now 60 courses, all the books, everything that I use, everything that I have, so that in that case, when quality drops, people can still come in here, get some golden nuggets, and make sure that they can improve their work. I just want to make sure that I have multiple Obiris working aside Obiri. This is very, very good if you have the fear of letting quality drop, because not only do you have your notes, you have like a basic, like not only do you have your notes, you have not only do you have your notes, you have like a second version of you, which can be implemented one to many. So the stage audit. Now with this simple audit, you should be able to know in which stage you are currently in. Stage one indicators are clear. The client buys you and wouldn't stay if someone else delivered the results. Your value comes from your expertise and not leverage. You personally handle all client deliverables and there's no coordination meetings needed. If you have no team meetings, then well, you're in stage one. Stage two indicators are simple. Number one is most decisions feel too important for you to hand off. You feel guilty taking a day off because you think things might break, or you know that things might break because there's no systems. Your team can execute but cannot problem solve on their own. And the last one is you feel like you are paying salaries to create more work for yourself. If the last one, resonates with you, then you are 100% in stage two. Stage three is different. In stage three, all team members can make operational decisions without asking you, the founder. You spend most of your week on planning, forecasting, and system improvements. Your calendar is filled with thinking and not executing. You see that sales call, strategy, something else, and not, the next automation. You know the status of operations through dashboards and not conversations. So you can basically log into a dashboard or a sheet and see what's going on, and you don't have to basically ask them every time. And the last one is the business continues without disruption, even if you disappear for a week. Now, there's a famous test that a lot of founders do, and that is basically to disappear for a week and to see if the business will crash. If the business crashes, then you're in stage two. If it doesn't, then you're in stage three. Now, for stage four, the indicators are clear. Number one, the business captures data, analyzes it, and then makes informed changes without you, the founder. Number two is your time is spent on capital allocation, alliances, and long-term innovation. So basically R&D and making sure that you're the best in the game. The third one is every department has a documented playbook and improvement cadence, which means you do not have to basically ask them, yo, we want to build this new stuff. They'll basically bring the ideas on their own. The fourth one is you are basically irrelevant at this point. Like you could basically die and the business will survive without you. The fifth one is, which is very easy, the business can grow without increasing founder involvement. It is normally at this point that you can basically sell the business because there's no key man risk anymore. Plus, there's a lot of systems and everything is put in place that if you want to sell the business here, you can basically do it. Now, to summarize everything, when you're at stage one, it's just labor. You're just doing all the labor yourself. When you're in stage two, it's basically chaos because you have more labor, but then you have to put in more from your side, so chaos. Stage three is basically order. So that is when a lot of companies or a lot of agencies and businesses start to get their stuff or things in place. And then stage four is basically evolution. This is when the business can evolve without a founder. And mostly this is when you can sell, have board members, and basically if you have a SaaS, basically take, or sell some stock off. So that is that for this video. This video basically differentiates the four stages of business evolution and how you can use it to your advantage or maybe to the disadvantage of others. And yeah, that was that for this video. See you in the next one.